Hello guys, the FIFA World Cup is just 4 days away, and the football world is already on fire. Pre-tournament friendlies delivered drama, with Messii rested, Rafael Leão sent off, and Brazil, Germany, and Portugal all winning their warm-up games. Juventus are closing in on Alexander Sorloth in a deal that involves Atletico Madrid and Nico Gonzalez, while Bernardo Silva is leaving Manchester City as a free agent with multiple clubs circling. Plus, Liverpool are accelerating their move for Mickey van de Ven. If you're enjoying this kind of breakdown, drop a like, it genuinely helps us keep this format going. So let's dive into the latest football news. With 4 days to go until the tournament kicks off, FIFA has confirmed that Kylian Mbappe holds the record for the most goals scored in World Cup finals. The stage is set for him to add to that tally. Liverpool are expected to step up their pursuit of Mickey van de Ven after a formal bid was reportedly tabled. The Dutch defender has been identified as a key target as the club looks to strengthen their backline. Lionel Messii was rested as Argentina beat Honduras in their warm-up, while Brazil, Germany, Belgium, and Portugal all won their pre-tournament friendlies. Rafael Leão was sent off in Portugal's match, adding a note of concern ahead of the tournament. Jude Bellingham personally presented Rio Inguimoha with his first England cap in the dressing room after the New Zealand game, leaving the teenager speechless. Liverpool forward Rio Inguimoha became the fifth youngest player in England's history during Saturday's win over New Zealand. The teenager is part of the extended preparation group, but is not in the final World Cup squad. Didier Deschamps has confirmed that France's friendly against Northern Ireland on Monday will serve as a direct rehearsal for their World Cup group stage match against Senegal on June 16th. Ousmane Dembélé is set to start. Ronald Araujo is a doubt for Uruguay's opening World Cup match against Saudi Arabia on June 16th after suffering a muscle contracture in training. The Barcelona defender's issue is not considered serious, but Uruguay are taking a cautious approach. Thomas Tuchel confirmed England came through their narrow 1-0 win over New Zealand without any new injury concerns. He also hinted at significant changes to the lineup for their next World Cup warm-up. Reports suggest Arne Slot had disagreements with 3 Liverpool players before his departure from Anfield last month. The Dutchman's second season in charge was described as underwhelming before the club moved on. Interim Italy head coach Silvio Baldini has publicly endorsed Antonio Conte for the vacant national team job, saying Conte, currently at Napoli, almost always wins. The role remains unfilled ahead of the World Cup. Italy faced Greece in an international friendly this Sunday, and 2 young Italian talents are expected to be handed their senior debuts. With the national team manager role still vacant, it's a chance for the next generation to make a statement. Portugal manager Roberto Martinez has said he has no doubt that Bernardo Silva would fit in at Barcelona. The comments come as Silva prepares to leave Manchester City as a free agent this summer. USA left-back Anthony Robinson has said his stunning volley against Germany is the best goal he has ever scored. The strike came as the United States build momentum heading into their home World Cup. Bookmakers have dramatically cut the odds on Thomas Frank becoming the next Fulham manager following Marco Silva's recent exit. Frank is emerging as the leading candidate to take charge at Craven Cottage. Manchester City are reportedly confident of securing a deal for Nottingham Forest midfielder Elliot Anderson, with Forest said to be under pressure to sell players this summer. Real Sociedad will compete in the UEFA Europa League next season after winning the Copa del Rey, returning to European football after a year's absence. Despite a slight drop in their UEFA coefficient, the club is targeting pot 1 in the draw. Eduardo Camavinga is attending a Harvard Business School course after being left out of France's World Cup squad by Didier Deschamps. The Real Madrid midfielder is making the most of his unexpected summer off. Spain's World Cup preparations were briefly disrupted when Gavi accidentally caught Rodri with a kick during a ball dispute in training. The incident caused concern, though no serious injury was reported. Sonia Bermudez's Spain women's side have traveled to Reykjavik for a decisive World Cup qualifier against Iceland on Tuesday. A win would secure Spain a direct ticket to the 2027 Brazil World Cup. Marca has outlined 5 major challenges facing players at this summer's World Cup: extensive travel between host cities, altitude differences, extreme heat, air pollution, and allergies. Analysts are calling it the most physically demanding tournament ever staged. Juventus are making a serious move for Alexander Sorloth, with Fabrizio Romano reporting an initial agreement on personal terms between the club and the Norwegian strikers camp. Talks are continuing between Juventus and Atletico Madrid, with the negotiations also involving midfielder Nico Gonzalez as part of the broader discussion. Sorloth, who joined Atletico Madrid from Villarreal in 2024, has been identified by Juventus head coach Igor Tudor as a priority target to strengthen the attack. Luciano Spalletti, the Italy national team coach, has reportedly taken a personal interest in convincing the 28-year-old to make the move to Turin, an unusual but telling sign of how highly he is regarded. The Norwegian has proven himself as one of the more reliable strikers in La Liga, offering physicality, aerial ability, and a consistent goal threat. For Atletico, moving him on as part of a deal that brings in Nico Gonzalez would represent a significant squad reshuffle heading into next season. The two-club negotiation means this deal is more complex than a straightforward transfer. Both the Sorloth and Gonzalez threads need to align before anything is finalized. Expect movement in the coming days as both clubs look to resolve their attacking and midfield needs before the summer window heats up. Bernardo Silva's time at Manchester City is over. The Portuguese playmaker's contract is expiring this summer, and he will not be renewed by the club. At 31 years old, Silva enters the market as one of the most coveted free agents in European football, with Atletico Madrid firmly in the picture. Atletico are looking to reinforce their offensive midfield for next season, and Silva fits Diego Simeone's profile perfectly. Technically elite, experienced at the highest level, and available on a free. Atletico's interest has been described as genuine and structured, with Silva's words in recent interviews leaving the door open for a move to Madrid. Adding further intrigue, Portugal manager Roberto Martinez has publicly stated he has no doubt that Bernardo Silva would fit in at Barcelona, a comment that will not have gone unnoticed at Camp Nou. Barcelona have long admired Silva and could enter the race if Atletico do not move quickly enough. For Manchester City, losing Silva on a free represents the end of an era. He was central to their historic run of Premier League titles and Champions League success. Whoever lands him this summer will be getting one of the most intelligent midfielders of his generation, at zero transfer cost. With the FIFA World Cup just 4 days away, Marca has published a detailed breakdown of the 5 major physical and environmental challenges that will make this the most grueling tournament in the competition's history. Travel, altitude, extreme heat, pollution, and allergies are all cited as significant threats to player performance and welfare. The 2026 World Cup spans 3 countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, meaning teams could face transcontinental travel between group stage matches. Altitude differences between venues like Mexico City and coastal American cities add another layer of physiological stress. Extreme summer heat in several host cities, combined with air quality concerns and high pollen counts, complete a uniquely hostile environment. For squad managers, this means rotation and recovery planning will be more critical than ever. Teams with deep squads and strong medical departments will have a structural advantage over those relying on a core group of starters to carry them through the group stage and into the knockout rounds. Kylian Mbappe enters the tournament as the all-time leading scorer in World Cup finals, a record that underlines France's status as one of the favorites. But with 5 invisible threats lurking in the background, even the most talented squads will need to manage their resources carefully if they want to be standing in the final on July 19th. Italy head into the World Cup without a permanent head coach, a remarkable situation for one of the tournament's most storied nations. Interim boss Silvio Baldini has now publicly thrown his weight behind Antonio Conte, saying the Napoli manager almost always wins and would be the ideal candidate to take the job. Conte's credentials are undeniable. He has won league titles in Italy, England, and has consistently transformed clubs into title contenders wherever he has managed. His current success at Napoli only reinforces his reputation as one of the elite coaches in world football. The Italian Federation, however, has yet to make a formal approach. The timing is awkward. With the World Cup already underway in days, any appointment would be made mid-tournament at the earliest, or more likely after the competition concludes. Italy are not participating in this World Cup. Their absence following a second consecutive failure to qualify remains a painful backdrop to this managerial search. 2 young Italian talents are expected to be handed senior debuts against Greece this Sunday, giving the interim setup a chance to blood the next generation. But the broader question of who leads Italy into the next qualifying cycle, and whether Conte can be persuaded to leave Napoli, will dominate the agenda once the World Cup dust settles. Didier Deschamps is leaving nothing to chance in France's World Cup preparations. The France manager has confirmed that Monday's friendly against Northern Ireland will function as a direct rehearsal for their opening group stage match against Senegal on June 16th. Ousmane Dembélé is confirmed to start, signaling his importance to Deschamps' attacking plans. France entered the tournament as one of the leading favorites, boasting arguably the deepest squad in the competition. With Mbappe as the focal point and Dembélé providing width and creativity, the attacking options available to Deschamps are formidable. The Senegal match will be a genuine test. The West African side are no pushovers and will be motivated to cause an upset. The decision to use the Northern Ireland friendly as a tactical rehearsal rather than a rotation exercise shows how seriously Deschamps is treating the group stage. France have historically struggled to hit their stride early in tournaments, and the manager appears determined to avoid a slow start this time. Notably absent from the squad is Eduardo Camavinga, who missed out on selection and is currently attending a Harvard Business School course during his unexpected summer break. His omission remains one of the more surprising calls Deschamps made in his final squad, and it underlines the fierce competition for places in a France side that has genuine ambitions of lifting the trophy on home soil, or rather, on North American soil, for the first time since 1998. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting football news. Stay tuned for our next video. Until then, take care and see you soon.